Today, I'll just share a little bit of a history of how this daily practice in the Proverbs became a part of my life. I grew up in church. As a young child, I was in the church. My mom had us in the church every time the doors open. She served faithfully in our church and raised us to be faithful to the work of the church. But what was lacking in my walk was discipleship. It wasn't until I was in my it may have been my fifth or sixth year of marriage when I began working with my life coach, Miss Gail Williams, that she revealed to me that the biggest issue in my struggle in my marriage was that I had not developed the discipline of a prayer life. And she taught me what to do instead of screaming and hollering when my feelings were hurt to go into a quiet place and to cry out to the Father. I had Our son was really, really young at the time, and I was in that season of motherhood where I slept as long as I could, which meant that I started off my day with this child waking me up and my never having started the day taking care of my own heart, taking care of my own spirit. So I began to sacrifice an hour of sleep every day to go into my son's closet, which was the only space we had at the time, go into his closet and lay on that floor in his closet and just cry puddles into the carpet of his closet floor. Over the years, this practice it transitioned and it grew into my intentionally seeking the scriptures, Proverbs being my favorite book of the Bible, and not understanding at the time that Proverbs is actually a book of law. And this is literally what I do every day. That is the reason for the Justice Code Challenge. It is to disciple you in the practice of learning the law and understanding the law and to seeing the law's connection to life. So in the ninth verse today, it reads, "A man's heart devises his way, but the Most High directs his steps." The heart is the place, the seat of our thinking, and that place where our thoughts are connected to our emotions, and where our thoughts and our emotions are connected to our motives, our will, the things that drive us and motivate us to take action. And in the world of justice, whenever you are hurt by somebody else, someone does you wrong, if it's accidental, if it's intentional, if it's with hatred, or if it's simply with negligence, then your heart is going to have an emotional response. It's going to feel wronged. It's going to be angered. And typically in our human nature, we seek revenge, right? We want to get our lick back. We want to make things right. You hurt me, so I'm going to hurt you. This principle is actually supported in biblical precedent with regards to the harm done that you do to someone should be done to you. And that is what it means, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. The issue though is that the right way is to have a system of justice, because left to our own devices, our heart is going to plan vengeance. Our heart is going to want to get our lick back. And it's the Most High that directs our steps when it comes to delivering his idea of justice and not that which we've devised out of our feelings. So, the legal operation of this proverb is that the path to justice, those paths are already prepared by the Most High. See, He gave us proverbs and He gave us legal precedent so we could understand His heart. A lot of times, injustice, it thrives because the system is governed by the motivations, the emotions, and the will of men. The system has been corrupted into an industrial complex, a money making machine where giving you justice quickly is not profitable, where giving you justice in a way that brings everyone to the table in private, that's not the best way to make money. Where having having this relationship amongst the officers of the court and those who are in relationship with one another, making money off of the hurting souls of people, that is not profitable. And because the motivation of the system is to make money to keep the system going and to profit off of the broken hearts of people, the system in and of itself is unjust, because that is not the model of justice that was provided to us by the biblical precedent. The biblical precedent actually showed that Moses had to delegate his authority to many other elders for the purpose of giving people justice right away. This is something that is prevalent in the American justice system, the injustice of delay. I literally have a case, my very, very last of my litigation caseload, that has been sitting in the court system for 3 years over a matter that should have been resolved in 3 months. Literally, it is not that deep. But what has been happening is that the attorney on the other side gets paid every time he drags his feet on this case. He's billing his client. And therefore, his paths are unjust, because there is no motivation to hurry up and finish the case, because the motivation is to make money. So when we understand all of the principles of the Proverbs in this justice code leading up to today, understanding that justice, number one, originates from the Most High. Number two, judgment is the Most High. Number three, us having pride and selfishness deprives the community of justice. Then we understand that these paths, for those of us who are called to bring healing and reconciliation into these broken spaces, we have to understand that it's not about our feelings. We have to understand that it's not about our pockets. We have to understand that it's not about our favoritism, but it's about the paths that have already been prepared so that we can be instruments of peace. Justice is a form of peace. In order to do that, we have to respect that it's already been prepared by the Most High. Praise this blesses you and encourages you to keep going after the Most High, keep going after truth, and most of all, continue to unpack this revelatory legal operation of the Proverbs so that you can deepen your relationship with your Creator and be a part of reconciling relationships within your own community. I bless you and look forward to seeing you for the next day of the challenge.